Okay, we are live, and I'm going to send it out again, per usual. I'm a boomer when it comes to lives. Just skip ahead 2 minutes if you're coming in now. So I gotta manually invite everyone in. And it takes a while for me to see it. Okay, I see it now. Share. We got the Discord in here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, now Substack. Dude, I need to hire a intern that actually will not fucking be more of a pain in the ass than it's worth. Alrighty. Okay, we are ready to go. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? It's time to buy AI. It is time to buy. Leverage out of the system, I believe. Pick your stock. Pick your stock. Optics trading well today. Memory iffy. I like both. And then power. Power is still trading shittily, but I still like power. I like power semis. I like semi caps. Whatever you want, go and pick it. The public one, Discord, we're trading, others, but I will mention I think Coherent is a buy. Think Coherent is a buy. If you like Gavin Baker, go A Lab. If you like Marvell, go Marvell. Do what you want. Do what you want. Also, Groupon. Groupon is looking good. I mean, the options expiry rolls off. It's just smoother trading. Right here, this is relatively smooth the whole day. Right, we're up 57 basis points. It's been up for most of the day. It was down below for a little bit, and then just recently, options chain, especially considering how it's been, is super tame. Super tame. What I find interesting is the $40 strike, which is now the highest strike on the board with the most gamma. There's not much gamma left in the chain. It should not be a huge issue for now, but as we go into earnings, it's going to be quite interesting. What I would like to see is let's just like I just want to not have weak hands in this stock, right? I think the next earnings are going to be great, but if people are just taking profit after it, it's not going to help me. It's I'm going to be long this stock for a while. Granted, I think the guidance is going to be good. We're going to go into Q3 and Q4, and they're super easy comps. Management's working hard. They're coming out with prepaid stuff. They're doing some fintechy stuff, which potentially rolls people into the platform. And then my discussions on TikTok with everyone is like, oh shit, UGC, like I can't believe that they're not doing this. This isn't the focus of their marketing plan already. The fact that they're giving up to 10% away from Groupons for creators, that's better than you're going to get if you're selling Squid Hoss or whatever. That's typically 3 to 5% affiliate. 10% if you're a super influencer. But Groupon is happy to give away 10% because they've 90% gross margin. Into the close, Nasdaq kind of sketched out a little bit in the morning. S&P is flat. It doesn't really matter, honestly. I think you try to make money on the long side, as much as I'll talk about, and I'll get into the bearish insurance and private credit stuff. It's like, make the last money. Understand your exit plan. Understand that some stocks have super beta to the market and some stocks don't. A stock like Groupon technically has 1.5 beta, but I think beta is bullshit. That's based over 2 years. I think it's a counter-cyclical tech stock. And it's just really, it's a story that's very secular and asynchronous. I'm taking on more beta now, though. I'm taking on as everyone gets cleared out of the AI stocks. I bought a basket, making it 30-ish% of my portfolio at this point in time. I'm definitely on margin. I've been shorting insurance, alts. It's nice to see that finally work. If I short software, it's really just, the same trade. But I'm getting there on Fig and on ServiceNow and Adobe and Workday. All of these stocks, like, they bounced a little bit. Everyone thinks they're out of the clear. Trend is down. Trend is your friend. Watch. There's going to be trapdoors, in my view, because I'm sorry, you have a threatened business. You deserve low multiples, and maybe 3 of them survive and 2 of them trend towards zero. And as a funding short and potentially short alpha, I think that's positive. What do we got? Let's ask some questions. Let's answer some questions. I spent the entire day, literally for 3 hours, trying to fix my computer because all of a sudden my hard drive, and I had to reboot it, and just don't even ask. It was annoying. It was annoying for sure. But I'm going to pull up the chat. And I'm feeling generous today. We can go through and talk about stocks. Nothing behind the paywall on Discord, please. Nothing behind the paywall on Substack, please. But if it's interesting to me, I may poke into it. One stock I've been doing a lot of work on that's going to be behind the paywall is Vicor. These sort of transistors, if they have a niche, I just think the power equation is vastly underappreciated. Everyone is looking at the same sort of growth curve, thinks it's software or AI, you just buy GPUs, whatever. People are not thinking about the power equation. And the power people I talk to says that, it's not just turbine lead times. It is functionally, we do not have enough power intelligence and power skill in order to do the EPC, procurement, consulting, electrical EPC, that's what it's called. Utility guys are probably gonna have a bit brain drain, but as of now, all of the tech guys just don't really get it. They don't really get what it takes in order to build out these gigawatt data centers. Natural gas space. I feel like I understand the oil market way better. The chokeholds on the ports and how LNG trades. It's just kind of tough. I kind of like the idea and the exposure. Long service now, love tickets. Why is LD against OPEX? He's not really. I just talked to him. He's long Marvell. He really likes Marvell. LD is a fund manager who doxed himself in my Discord. He's kind of my co-pilot. We will argue and you guys will think we hate each other, and then we'll talk and we'll just joke around and laugh. But sometimes markets always are a contact sport, and I think people forget that. Google and Amazon, boring. LRCX, nice. Emerging markets, yup. You're going to see a new stock, a new emerging market stock, African, very African. Does Iran scare me at all? Yes, it does. But I don't think that the market cares. I really don't. Market may care. You just got to monitor it. I don't know who I'm speaking to, but somebody who's got to, lean in to the market. What are you going to do? Go to all cash and just wait, and then you're dumb until you're right. And listen, I'll just pull the plug, right? I'll pull the plug on whatever I own. There's a bunch of AI stocks, I'll be happy to pull this plug on. Coherent's probably the last for two reasons. I got leaps that I want to be long-term capital gains. I would just sell like an at the money call if I wanted to de-risk there. Um, but I think it's a good compounder that will continue to compound. The despite like whatever the macro is, Jim Anderson, you can have my money. But yeah, no, eventually. So what everyone needs to realize is this is all built on very flimsy ground. But again, I'm talking to 50% of you probably right now are the Fall Guys generation. The video game, you bounce and the platform falls and you bounce onto a new one, the platform falls, you bounce onto a new one. I think you guys are too much like that. It's too much like that. You should learn to invest more. Unfortunately, the way that the Federal Reserve and the manipulation and the perverse incentives and the leverage that's built up to the system, the buy and hold good priced stocks is kind of tough. You're, relegated. A lot of people are relegated or they've been trained to just buy Momo stocks that go up, fundamentals be damned. As long as the fundamentals are going in the right direction for the most part, they just buy it. And it works. And then the quality compounders over time, like they don't really work. And there's stuff that works more. So, the patient money is crowded out, the hot money, like it's everywhere. But that's the way it is. That's what the world you have to live in. And the market could go up another 10, 15% before, there's any struggles. So you just got to be ready and plugged in. Now, if you're not able to follow the market on a day-to-day basis, you can still take intelligent risk. I'll just give it to you right now. One stock that I think, belongs in any portfolio, but particularly a retail portfolio that's not super tuned, besides Coherent's a great one, is GE Vernova. Over the next 5-10 years, you're talking about the NVIDIA power. I'm going to write it up on Substack. I'll probably half paywall it, give you guys a good view. But I'll leave the ticker in the top. GE Vernova is a powerhouse. They make $750 million turbines, and you might need two of them for a data center. And it's not just data centers, right? I mean, it's not the amount of power that we need is extensive, whether it's nuclear, whether it's hydro, or typical carbon. You need these turbines, and they don't just do the turbines; they do the full slate of power. And there's really no competing with GE Vernova. Now, does it go back down to 900, 800? Is the right time to buy? If you're looking out 5 years, who cares? Who cares? You feel me? Where is GE Vernova on this? Alas, I need to put it. Oh yeah, it's right there. It's up 1.83%. That's pretty attractive. Pretty attractive. So be smart. Like, optics is up. You guys are like, I see people being like, oh, AOI is like lagging, and Light and Coherent are up 4 and 5%, 3% now. Let's buy AOI. That's flat. Shitco. The only reason that it's getting any business is because Light and Coherent are capped. The time right now, it is not the time to buy the shittiest, biggest laggard. Okay, the Poets, the Illumas, the AOI is far superior. AOI, AXTI are far superior than Illuma and Poet. A Poet is even more superior than Illuma. Speaking of, let's look at Illuma. Do you guys recognize game for my short reports this year? I mean, I don't know if I'm going to have another year like this in a long time in a bull market. In a bear market, there's from my short reports this year, none of them are up. None of them. And the market's probably up 10% on average from each report. I think that's extremely impressive. Shitco. But yeah, so be higher in the quality chain. Let's look at GE Vernova. And you'll sort of, let's go like truly actually look at the chart. Okay. It's up 90% in the past year. Yes, it's up a lot. However, if you really understand how important this company is to our future and you take a strong view on that, power, you can get pretty comfortable at $1,000, 1,100 bucks, 1,200 bucks, owning it for years at a time and paying capital gains. So yeah, let's see what other questions. Wobbles, wobbles. Appreciate you. I mean, I'm pretty critical for insurance, but at the same time, I talk to a lot of insurance guys, and I think it's the stupidest thing ever. Like, people will be born in an industry, and that's like kind of just they just learn to do what they do, and they don't really question it. I think the whole thing is ridiculous. And I've talked to actuaries, and particularly one actuary that left a PE backed insurer because he was not going to go down with this ship, and is actually, you know, would be probably the best story I would come out with now. But I'm talking to hedge funds and looking for a sub advisor arrangement because I'm going to short the shit out of this. Short the shit out of this. If everyone wants to say, oh, well, I heard it's fucked, here it happens sometime soon, I'm going to get short. It's like, fine, you can do that. That's providing liquidity for me. That's being extremely granular, has identified 40 companies that I think are the best for the securities, best pricing. I wouldn't have 40 trades on, but it's first through ninth inning trades on this. And ultimately, I think it's going to take down all asset classes at the same time. Besides cash, And then ultimately, a lot of good stuff is going to be thrown out with the bathwater, just like 2008. You're going to be able to buy credit at 40 cents on the dollar. That's definitely money good. And equities are going to be a buy. What does that mean for the average investor? Um, just understand it's on shaky ground. It's never a bad idea to have a fund of, hey, 6 months of spending. Don't go on vacation right now. I know it's the end of August. Things are probably already planned. If you're like thinking about prepaying for Christmas vacation, go to Florida or just do something cheap. Stay at home. Spend less money. If you're a young person, go find a boomer and just sell them that you can do all this stuff and charge them a bunch of money, and, you know, build the war chest. That's probably the best thing that can be said, because there's going to be opportunities, or maybe opportunities right now if you want to lean in, but this is not the best opportunity that's ever going to come. I do think AI right now, lean in opportunity, but as far as just a smorgasbord menu of things to buy, this is not the best. It will come. What I am saying is absolutely lock in. Absolutely lock in. Cut out the tables. Cut out the superfluous spend. No more Birkin bags. No more Chanel. No, no more dates. No more fun. Nothing. Nothing. It is time to make money. It is time to build a war chest. I have my own strategy. It's not fitting for everyone. I do a tremendous amount of research. You can read it on Substack. Try to find some orthogonal, like I said, whatever word, asynchronous, orthogonal ways to make money. I am also leaning into the beta, the high quality beta, in my view. But maybe, you just say, hey, listen, I'm not really going to pay attention to this market. I'll buy a few things, then go make money. Go grind, build the bank account, high yield savings, buy a 6-month treasury bill. But mostly just focus on your income. Focus on your income. Career advice for everyone that's in the business. Maybe not a lot of people that are in finance on literal closing bell. Who knows? Be managing your job as if you're going to get fired. You know what I mean? Like, be trying to position yourself to not be fired and have somebody else be fired. Now, I don't mean just be like a dickhead in the workplace, but you know, be working harder right now to make yourself indispensable, because I do think that layoffs are about to happen. What does that mean? That means be proactive, take on projects, work for think about how you're going to get promoted, And it may just be you maintain your job and do the best you can. Also, learn AI tools because AI is going to be necessary and mandatory going forward. Um, 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 um. You think Fermi is, listen, um, yeah, I'll be out of Fermi. If Fermi doesn't get a tenant on their deadline, I'm out. I don't care. I'm not. There's going to be plenty of people that say, "Oh, it was a self-imposed deadline," blah blah blah. I, in fact, like, kind of don't want to say this so that somebody just whack. I mean, it's not like I'm going to move it that much, but I'm just going to be out. I got good ideas. If you say something and you can't do it, I no, there's no explanations about it. I'm done. Now, if they get the tenant and it's a 200 megawatt tenant, I think this thing could be 15 in short order. But um, it's still a good bet for me. Otherwise, I would have sold it. It's not exactly going trading wise the way I would have wished. Listen, we just closed 82,000 shares on Groupon. Portfolio, pretty good portfolio day, all in. VST is what? That's because the turbines are like an extremely big moat. That's the answer. Um, Vistra, I thought that was like more cooling. There's a massive moat attached to GEV. Energy Worldwide. As a holding company, retail and electric. I have to look into Vistra. I don't know it that well. Let's see. It's actually down. I mean, there could be something in there, but it goes to show. You compare the two charts, something's happening here. So, you find an answer to that, and you think it's wrong. That would be interesting to me, but the market's saying what it's going to say, and quite frankly, for these types of views, when you're talking about long-term beta, that's a compounder, that's a mega cap. That should tell you something. Now, if the market is clearly wrong in your view, um, maybe there's an opportunity there. Uh, why did Tenable sell off so much? Strange. A lot of things. Warby, Webtoon. How did the S&P do today? SPY closed at the lows. Yeah, closed negative, huh? Closed negative. Eh, I don't think it really matters. Watch Korea rip today, blah blah blah. Then we wake up, and the Nasdaq. What did the Nasdaq do? Closed barely up at all. Holy shit! Oh, it went wipey into close, dude. So annoying that I was like ready to go. All of a sudden, my computer dies, and I have to like reboot it and flash it and go to the store and get a USB drive. So today was not the technological genius. What do you mean another pale fire capital earnings? I don't know what that means. Next, yeah, honestly, Prairie Seed. I think most like that's a lot of junk. It's a lot of junk. Just my view. Just my view. Why would you go like? Yeah, just my view. Maybe I'm wrong. Vistra's more nuclear. Okay, that's look at the chart. It's not good. Um, all right. Any last questions before I sign off? I'm sorry. This is not super high energy live that I was meant to be. This nuclear stuff, like guys, show me the money. Show me the money. I'm not super interested in. Hey, we may make money a long time from now. Maybe. Bro, PayPal popped on Stripe. What are you trying to do? Merger arbitrage right now? It's been the same story on PayPal for a long time. It just keeps on going down. Like the innovation of that platform has been negative. It's actually been incredible how bad they've done. Amphenol, don't really know. LD and Discord would know best on that. Um, who's a good follow? Liam Dalton. Search Liam Dalton on Twitter. I mean, Gavin Baker, Liam Dalton, semi analysis, insane analyst, incredibly good follow. Centrinium's so over him. The Value Road on Substack, Lee Roach on Twitter, uh, Clouseau. Uh, just see who I retweet. Whoever I retweet is probably a good follow. Dude, I bought Oracle in the Discord and I sold it because it's just trading like shit. At some point, it's probably going to squeeze. Treat it like a dirty, you know what. Um, I do think it squeezes. I actually bought a little bit of SpaceX. I didn't tell the Discord because I'm embarrassed. But I think that probably someone pumps it soon. See if that rocket lands. The lockup's coming. I don't think anyone's going to sell below the IPO price, honestly. So I think the float is not functionally going to be expanded that much, and 1/3 of it right now is short. Yeah, the OUST2 retail guys pitch better, pitch better. Yeah, the Oracle debt's insane, but it's mostly all called for. Um, yeah, I mean, do you think it's that much better that Meta has the same amount of spend and has ads and you know 4 times bigger market cap or whatever, 5, 6 times bigger market cap for the same opportunity with you know less progress on getting customers? I don't know. I think the hate is probably overdone. Do I love it? No, but I'm just talking about for a trade. Alrighty, guys, gonna sign off. Will come with heat tomorrow. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I'm gonna be feeling it. Totally drained my energy fixing my computer today.